So when you look at the evidence base, and this is many decades of data accumulated, what I would say that the three biggest benefits of floating that all the studies are showing are a triad of pain, stress, and anxiety, all being reduced. And when you think of, the most ubiquitous forms of human suffering, pain, stress, and anxiety essentially capture a lot of that spectrum, and floating is reducing all of them. So our first study, it was the first of its kind, is we took 50 patients with anxiety, all forms of anxiety. We had people with generalized anxiety, we had people with panic disorder, social anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and they all had depression as well. And what we found is across that group of 50 subjects, every single one of them showed a reduction in anxiety from pre to post float. And we asked this group, this is a highly experienced group, a lot of them had been anxious and depressed most of their life. They had tried many other treatments. But across this group of 50 subjects, 75% of them said floating was the most relaxing experience of their life. So to me, the open float pool is such a revolutionary breakthrough with floating. For many decades, floating has always been done in these small enclosed chambers. And the average ordinary person is going to find them somewhat claustrophobic. But in fact, when you take the enclosure away and you make the pool wide open, there are no barriers. And what I love so much about City Cave is you are the first brand to take the open float model seriously. In fact, that's the only type of floats that are offered at City Cave. And to me, this is great because now the whole population could float. People who say have disabilities, senior citizens, people with chronic pain, they could all easily get in and out of the float pool. And personally, I study people with anxiety disorders. People with anxiety are not going to get into an enclosed space, but when you remove the enclosure, all of a sudden, now they're willing to try floating. To me, what I love about the open model is it opens up floating to all these people who would have never tried it otherwise.